Hello dear students, today we are going to revise verb tenses. Verbs in English language come in three tenses: past, present and future. The past is used to describe things that have already happened before, for example, earlier in the day, last week, 3 years ago, etc. The present tense refers to things that are happening right now or things that are continuous. And the future tense refers to things that have yet to happen or have not happened yet. For example, later, tomorrow, next week, next year, 3 years from now, etc. are all expressions that refer to the future tense. Here we have a verb tense chart. The past refers to past simple and past progressive, past perfect and past perfect progressive. Here are the tenses for past, present and future. What do we notice here? The simple past takes ed. The present takes just the base form, and the future takes the auxiliary walk in this case. The progressive tenses are formed with the verb to be, respectively in the past, in present and in the future, plus the verb in ing form. The perfect tenses. The past perfect is used with had as an auxiliary plus the past participle of the verb to be conjugated. The present perfect is used with the perfect form of the verb to have plus the past participle of the verb. And the future perfect is will have conjugated plus the past participle of the verb. Again, we have another form of the verb to be here to form the progressive perfect tense. Had been walking is the example, have been walking, and will have been walking for the future. Simple present. The affirmative form is subject plus the verb. The negative is subject plus the auxiliary don't or doesn't for the third person singular plus the verb. The interrogative is the auxiliary do or does plus subject and the verb. Simple past. Last night I read an entire novel is the example. We see here the affirmative is subject plus the ed verb for the irregular one or the irregular as in our case. The negative is subject plus did or didn't this time as an auxiliary and the verb. And the interrogative is the auxiliary did plus subject and then the base form of the verb. What about simple future? I will read as much as I can this year. Here we have an affirmative sentence. It is subject plus will plus verb. The negative is formed with subject, will not or won't as a contracted form, and then the verb. And the interrogative is will, then the subject followed by the verb. What about continuous tenses? Let's see first the example. I am reading Shakespeare at the moment. Here is an affirmative sentence again. It is formed by the subject plus the verb to be in the correct form and the verb ending in ing. The negative is subject plus the verb to be in the negative form and the verb ending in ing. And the interrogative is the verb to be first, followed by the subject and the verb ending in ing. The same thing for past continuous and future continuous. What is different here is that changes only the conjugation of the verb to be, respectively was in the past and will be in the future. The rest is the same as in the present continuous tense. Perfect tenses now. I have read so many books I can't keep count. How to form it? We have the subject plus have or has in the third person singular plus the past participle of the verb. The negative form is subject, have or has not this time, and followed by the past participle. Interrogative is have or has plus the subject of the sentence and then the past participle of the verb to be conjugated. The same things happened with the perfect tenses, but this time we have the change of the verb to have. In the present is have, in past perfect is had, and in the future is will have. The rest is the same for all the tenses. Present perfect continuous. Here again changes only the auxiliary verb. Let's see the examples. I have been reading since I was 4 years old for present perfect continuous. I had been reading for at least a year before my sister learned to read. And the last example in the future, I will have been reading for at least 2 hours before dinner tonight. What can we see? The only thing that changes is the auxiliary verb have. It changes respectively to the tense it is conjugated: present, past, and future. The rest is verb ending in ing, that is the same for all the tenses. Let's practice now. It's your time to practice what we said up to now. The request of the exercise I chose for you is complete the following exercise with the correct form of the verb in parentheses. Let's see the answers together. Hi, I am Matt, a friend of Alice. Oh yes, Alice mentioned you the other day. Gee, you don't look like a detective. Well, that's good, I guess. I'm curious. Tell me, how you decided to become an undercover cop? Well, when I was a kid, I loved to read detective novels. By the time I was 10, I had read every book in the Hardy Boys series. I knew that I wanted to go into law enforcement. Thank you for your attention.